going on, guys? I'm Reese Bowers. Welcome to Built from the Bottom.
Alright, dude, how are you jumping this time? From the Jeep?
With the jump shot?
Yep.
Bro, I might blow out my knee or something.
You got that, dude. Let's get it.
Alright, go to the floor for the shot. So, guys, today we're going to be working on the 2014 R1, and as you saw in last video, I got all these plastics with it, but Chris, zoom in on this. Check that out. These plastics are pretty much trash, so the first thing we're going to be doing to this bike, I'm going to keep all the OEM stuff. As you can tell, this stuff is OEM because it's not ABS plastic. There's more flex in it. So I'm going to throw out all this other stuff I got because it's making a mess, and then we're going to move the R1 in the middle of the shop because I got parts over here. We got our forks, and then right there is a front wheel. Because for me to go take this to the state to go get it VIN stamped, I have to be able to, it's gonna be easier for me to just roll it in the bed of or into my trailer. So we need to get all this stuff off. And I got the front stay, so I'm gonna put the gauge cluster on while I'm at it. So let's get into working. So I'm looking more in depth at this bike, and you can tell this guy that crashed it just crashed it and like stopped, like automatically stopped, because see how the wheels bent down there, and then we got some sort of like debris in here, and it's like a tree. It's like he hit a tree. But I'm looking around, there's no damage on the radiator. There's no, like absolutely no damage on the tank, and all this stuff is OEM. This is OEM plastics. This is OEM plastics. This isn't even broken. The front wheel cover isn't even, there's nothing broken on it. So like he just dead stop whacked into like a tree or something, and like there's no rash on the side of the bike, which is pretty crazy. Like this guy went from however fast, like he had to be doing at least, even like for him to directly hit like a concrete thing, like maybe 60 to bend that like that and break these forks just to a dead stop. So what I'm gonna do now is figure out how to lift this thing up and pull the front wheel off. And then what I'm gonna do is I got a wheel in one of these boxes right here, and I'm gonna see if this tire, if the tire on this is good and it's not like ripped or anything, I'm just gonna go mount this tire on that rim, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do the wheels red on this. So let's get this wheel off. So you guys just saw I had a little bit of an issue jacking this up because there's no place underneath here for me to put the jack on, because I can't put it on the front wheel because I'm pulling, or at least on the forks, because I'm pulling the forks off too, and like there's no way to lift it from there, and the only place over here is the headers. Normally on other bikes there's a part of the lower oil pan that you can like put it on, and that's a pretty safe place to put it. So I put this tire underneath there, and so I really don't want to mess these up, so that should distribute the weight a little bit so it doesn't end up kinking up that. But let's pull this wheel off. Gotta take this off, it's already loose, and undo these Allens, and should slide the shaft right out. Check this out. I know I've shown it multiple times, but that's just crazy how that wheel like is missing the whole half on this side, and that's just completely bent. Like, but then you look at this side and there's not even curb rash on this wheel. That's crazy. What I'm gonna do now is there looks like sensors here. I don't know if this bike has, if that's the ABS sensor. Let's see if it'll focus. Is that the, so I don't know if that's the ABS sensor right there, but I definitely had to pull that off to drop these forks out. And then I'm just gonna slip the new ones in, then I can put it on the front stand and get this off of, get the weight off those headers right there. So I got these forks off. They came off really easy, just got the calipers kind of dangling there. Has aftermarket lines on it. These are nice lines. This bike has a lot of really nice things done to it, but then like questionable things. So these are like, I don't know if this is the OEM paint. It has like a red flake in it, and it looks really nice. It's a pearl white with like a red flake, but then they like plasti dipped over it with this, like, it's like a transparent black. It has like a purple flake in that. So I don't know if that's the people that like stole it, they did that to like cover up the white color, or if that was the guy that like, I don't know, bought it, and then you can see it on this tank right here. Or if the guy that like actually owned it did this, because then you look over here and it got these side markers that are on the side of the forks, which, you know, most people take off, but then you got a modified exhaust. So like, I wonder who did all the modifications to it, or if the people that stole it, it was already a plasti dip this color, and then they just were grinding around with the VIN grinded off of it. But those forks are, you know, pretty bad. I've never seen it where they actually break like this. Like they're actually like snapped, but then the triples will normally crack, and these triples are fine. And you can come over here, see how those forks are gold? I'm doing this has black forks on it, and that's actually what I got inside this box. So let's open this up. Those forks went on really easy. The guy that I bought these from, he actually packaged them really nice. They're covered in this fabric and like, it smells weird, but it made sure those didn't get scratched up or anything inside the mail, because those forks were pretty expensive. What I'm gonna do now is put the calipers back on. Definitely gonna take off that little reflector on that side. I really was trying to get this on real quick to get the, you know, the jack off of these headers, because these headers, look at these things, these are nice. It didn't end up damaging that, so that was, you know, the goal. So let's put all that stuff back on. So what I'm gonna do next is, you see right here how the front stay bracket is broken off. I got a new one for it, and I have the gauge cluster for this bike. So we're gonna put this on. I got it over here in this box. This is the front stay bracket. All these really do is get held in with 2 bolts. I think it's like 12 millimeter. And the gauge cluster sits in there. This is actually a pretty expensive gauge cluster for this bike. I think this is like a $500 cluster. So it's pretty sweet that this actually ended up coming with the bike. But before we do that, I gotta go throw out these fairings, because I had to pull this out, and I need the room because these are taking up a bunch of space. I got this front stay bracket on there. That went on good. I just kind of mocked this up on there, put the little plastic garments in on the back side, plugged it in. I didn't screw it in because I figure I'm probably gonna have to take that back off for them to properly re-stamp it. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull off this rear wheel. Right on, look at this thing, it looks crazy. I got that rear wheel off, it's in right here. Had to pull off the sprocket. Sprocket kind of looks a little beat, but I don't know. Chain's old too, I might replace the sprockets and chains actually. But the rear wheel's off, and this is the new wheel for the front. It's black. What I'm actually gonna do is, once I get this wheel repaired, I'm gonna take both of these wheels to the paint shop and get them painted this same color. And this bike is actually gonna be this color right here. This color right here, it is the BMW M4 Nardo gray color. I got NT fairings hooking it up with a custom kit for this bike with the 2015 tail. So if you guys need fairings for your bikes, go hit up NT fairings. Link is in the description. Finish off this video, I actually have the front headlight assembly. This is the OEM assembly, and it mocks up in there, but the tabs are actually broken off on it, which sucks. That means I have to buy a whole new assembly for it. So I'm gonna have to get to ordering that. And also next video, I'm gonna have to figure out how they hot wired this thing and get all that figured out, get this thing running, because I do have a key that will turn it over. So I really wanna see this thing run, but that's really gonna be it right now for this bike. I'm really trying my best to pump out as much content as possible to you guys. So next video upload will either be with the CBR or the ZX-10R I just got. Still waiting on parts for the BMW S1000R. If you're not already subscribed, I got more bikes coming, and I actually got a pretty cool car build coming. So go down there, hit that subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, go like it. I'll catch you guys next upload.
If you like this video, like and subscribe, because look from the bottom is your guide.